I guess we're not gonna.
All right.
And then also,
All right, good afternoon. Meeting of the Cannabis Control Board of the City of Jersey City held Monday, July 10th at approximately 5 p.m. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, known as the Sunshine Law. Adequate notice meeting was provided by mail and or fax to the Jersey Journal. I'm going to swear in a new member. We're lucky to have a new member this evening. All right, if you could just stand and raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Sonia Marte Dublin, do solemnly.
I'll repeat it.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's good. Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the ordinances of Jersey City,
and the ordinances of Jersey City,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Cannabis Control Board member
of Cannabis Control Board member
of the City of Jersey City,
of the City of Jersey City,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the chair and the board have the authority to raise your salary by 5. 5 times 0 is what?
So congratulations, Sonia, and welcome to the board. I would also just like to thank Stacy Flanagan for her service to the board.
Absolutely.
And with that, Jose is going to read the CCB and its duties.
We're going to do a roll call
Oh,
first.
sorry.
Chairperson Bunny,
Here.
Vice Chair Cantorero,
Here.
Commissioner Kaplowitz is absent, Commissioner Sloan,
Here.
and Commissioner Marte Dublin.
Here.
Do we know why Commissioner Kaplowitz is...
Yeah, he had a scheduled vacation.
Okay, could I have a motion to excuse Commissioner Kaplowitz?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right. The CCB and its duties. The Cannabis Control Board was created by the Jersey City Municipal Council. The CCB is a result of the council adopting an ordinance. We are not the planning board or the zoning board. Those boards were created by state legislation. The Jersey City Planning Board or the zoning board will hear your application as to zoning and land use development issues. According to Ordinance 22-003, the CCB will consider the following factors in its determination to approve or deny your application. Number 1, community impact and outreach input. Number 2, the number of cannabis establishments within close proximity, less than 1,000 feet to the applicant. Just because a cannabis establishment is less than 1,000 feet from your application is not necessarily a negative factor. Each application must be evaluated on the totality of factors and the surrounding neighborhood. Number 3, hiring practices employed by the applicant. Number 4, residency of all applicants/owners. Number 5, applicant's commitment to the diversity and inclusion best practices. Number 6, safety and security plans. If the board approves the application, the board will issue a preliminary resolution of support. Once the application obtains state approval, the applicant must return to the CCB for final approval. The CCB shall provide final written approval or rejection within 60 days. An applicant could obtain preliminary approval from the CCB, obtain state approval, but be denied final approval by the CCB. According to Ordinance 21-053, the CCB will ensure compliance with local rules and regulations governing cannabis. Jersey City encourages and promotes participation of minorities, women, and disabled veteran-owned cannabis businesses, and by extension, so shall the CCB. The CCB shall require a Class 5 cannabis retail business applicant to address concerns about the proximity of a proposed location to a substance abuse treatment center or daycare center.
Thank you. With the board's permission, I'd like to call the first application, CCB 23-61, Art 440 Company, LLC. Nice to see you again, Mr. Healy. Please have a seat. When you get situated, enter your appearance into the record.
Good evening. My name is Walter D. Neely, N-E-A-L-Y.
Is that microphone on, Mr. Neely? Because I can...
Can you hear it now? Hello?
There we go.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Walter D. Neely. I'm an attorney with offices in Englewood, New Jersey, and I have been here. I guess this is my third appearance on behalf of my client. Here with me is Anna Talentino, who is the major promoter of this application. And to summarize, you may recall that at the last hearing, there were issues concerning a security plan, and the matter was tabled. My client met with the Jersey City Police Department and subsequently developed a 25-page addendum to their application, which has been served upon the board, which we believe is a comprehensive security plan. I don't think it would be appropriate to discuss the details of it in open session
We agree.
because it is a security plan. There's certain proprietary and security information in it. However, if the board wishes to speak with us in closed session, we'd be prepared to do that. But needless to say, I'll just read the contents: the security mission, the scope of the cannabis business, facility, design and management, statement of purpose, safety and security measures, perimeter security, alarm systems, video surveillance, access and visitors, inventory control, storage, secure storage space and design, cash handling procedures, transportation techniques, employee training, emergency services planning, and then an annual security review. So I think all of the concerns of the police department are addressed in this submission. Further, we did have a security consultant who's mentioned in the plan. He has been here at the last two sessions. Unfortunately, he's on vacation, so he's cannot testify, but I just want the board to know that the gentleman was here and prepared to move forward. At this point, do you wish me to continue? Are there questions that you have?
So, go ahead.
We have a bit of an issue because we have a new board member and we don't have Stacy anymore. So should she start over?
So, Mr. Neely, we do have a new board member, so either
Did
the
the new
applicant
board
can...
member listen to the previous?
She did not. She was not a board member.
Oh, but could she listen to the tape?
She wouldn't be able to vote this evening.
Okay.
But I also don't think that that was our issue. I think we were having significant issues with the community impact with this specific application. I don't think it was only the security plan. I think our biggest concern was the community engagement. But because we do have a new board member, if you guys could just do a brief synopsis. She has watched the tape. She did watch the YouTube videos, but so that she's able to vote, if you guys could give a brief synopsis so that we can verify that she's heard these things on the record rather than not. I
Just
think
for
that
YouTube.
would be the best thing. So anyone who's presenting tonight, we do have a new board member. And so to bring her up to speed, I would ask that you touch on your application.
I would ask Ms. Anna Tarantino to address that.
When I was, okay, thank you. On June 10th, I was here, and actually, I walked the streets by myself, McGinley Square, and I provided a petition, and I went to several businesses. I submitted that to the board in time for the June 10th meeting. We were not able to be heard. I think it was June 10th, if I don't
You're
know if-
correct.
okay.
You're correct.
And I wasn't able to speak to that issue because it was tabled, because of the security concerns that I had no idea about. So I literally walked the streets myself and went to businesses. I can name the businesses, they're on the petition. I don't know if the new member is privy to what I submitted. I had those people sign. I went to those people in person. They signed it. I let them know that the business was going to be the location. I gave them a copy of the map of what was going to possibly be what the building would look like in its completion, because again, the building is still being prepared. I don't know if you know that. So if you're aware of 669 Bergen Avenue, it's close to completion, but I did all of that myself. And I do not like walking any streets, but I did that. So I did it myself. I went to the businesses. I had these particular signatures. I had them to sign in front of me myself. I explained to everybody what was coming, the date to be prepared for. It was tabled.
And further, we had a, like.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I had a witness, Monique, from Monique Smith Andrews. I submitted her certification that has been notarized. She was here at the last meeting. She's been a long-term business owner in McGinley Square on Storms Avenue. I don't know if you're aware of her or not. For 35 years, she was here in person to state that she was in support of it. She's on vacation, again. We had no idea it was going to be tabled. And she submitted a certification signed and notarized that I submitted. I think everybody has a copy of that.
So let me say this, Sonia, you were not able to listen or see the May 8th, 2023 YouTube.
No, I didn't see my 8.
Yeah, so she's not going to be able to vote, period. Summary doesn't work, although we appreciate that. I think it's fine. There are 3 other board members that can vote on your application
Okay,
this evening. So perhaps just focus on the deficiencies, and I think you are doing that. It was
Right,
the
so-
community impact that the board was concerned that there
I was
wasn't.
prepared for the community impact. That's why I went out myself.
Exactly.
And we also, at the last session, had this witness, Ms. Smith. Again, she, like.
A little closer to the mic.
We had
Mr.
the
Neal.
witness, Ms. Smith, like the security expert, she's away, so she's unable to be here, but we have written submissions from her, and, we made our best effort.
What was that witness, Mr. Hewley? I'm sorry.
Ms. Smith?
Yeah, and what was her capacity?
Ms.
She's
Ms.
a local
Smith is a
business
business owner in
And
the.
she's
in
also,
the,
she's been on the board, she's been there for 35 years on Storms Avenue, but she's a member of the McGinley Square Association Partnership
On the
for
board would know that.
35 years, so. And she's also a friend of mine, and she came here, I've known her for over 20 years, and she was here to testify, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to be heard. But when I tell you I went out, I did what you asked me to do. So I think I satisfied that requirement. Had I known about the additional deficiencies with the security, I would have had that prepared the last meeting as well, but I have that, I think I fulfilled that requirement as well.
For the record, I think the police issued their efficiency notice on a Friday, and we became aware of it on the Monday of the meeting, and we immediately.
Us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I personally met with Lieutenant Carlton, to make sure I followed whatever the requirements were. And again, had I known it, they would have been prepared for that meeting as well.
So any of the board members, and Sonia, although you can't vote, you certainly can participate actively. You can ask any questions, anything you don't understand, anything you want clarification on. If you want to hear more about something, that's your prerogative.
So,
But that aside, I'm sorry.
yeah. So, Anna, can you just walk us through your community impact plan?
Just, being a member of, I grew up in Jersey City. I'm a Jersey City native. I live here now. And actually, as I walked through the community, I went by the YMCA. I talked to the people there. I would have everybody involved that can help me make sure that that particular building is safe, is clean. I would hire people, as I stated in the amended community impact statement, that I do want to be a part of it, and I want to be a part of helping the community and all the business owners so we all have a safe community. I live on Gifford Avenue. I'm about 4 blocks from there, and I can walk there. I'm going to live in the building, again, once it's completed. So I am prepared to give back to the community, support all of the businesses. I think I've probably eaten at every restaurant that's on that. I just so I'm prepared to do it. I've been doing it my entire life. It's nothing new. We are Jersey City natives. We're not new to the area, and we've always supported and given back to the community.
You pointed out previously that your father, who's here, was a physician for many years. And,
Right.
And your late mother was an attorney, the municipal court judge, later a superior court judge, and so on.
Right. So my community impact I'm very involved in it. I'm very deeply supportive of it, and I have no issue with when I have to give back. I looked into what the associations are involved in, and I would be involved in it as well. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
I don't think any of us are disputing that you're from Jersey City and that your family has had significant impact on the community. And it's great that you walked through the community and reached out to the businesses and that you provided this community impact statement with, I guess you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, maybe 20 signatures. I'm not sure. But the ordinance prescribes that we have to consider community impact and outreach input, and what we've asked all of the other applicants that have come before us is how they plan to give back to the community if granted a cannabis license. So I think that's what we've been asking you, and we still haven't heard that. So with all of the other applicants, we've touched on expungements. What do you plan to do to give back to the community?
As I was an attorney for 25 years, and I practiced criminal law for 25 years. So easily I have access to anybody that would give expungements. I can give.
Ma'am, I understand, but what we're asking you is what is your plan to give back to the community? So have you engaged with any nonprofits that you intend to work with if granted a license?
I listed there's about 4 or 5 that I listed in the.
But what do you plan to do with those?
If I have to participate in what they're involved in or give back 10% or 20% of any profit.
We're not looking for hypotheticals. So what we've asked every other applicant is how they plan to engage specifically with these nonprofits that they're partnering with.
I would engage with them as if they wanted to have some type of informative clinics about expungements. If they want to ask me information directly, or if I have an attorney that can help them specifically, I would be involved in that type of supportive community.
So in the revision, in the revised community impact that you gave to us, I did read that you said you will be helping financially.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what our chair is asking, is have you set that plan in motion? Not just the financials, but more of
I've reached out to them, the ones that I've submitted.
Okay.
I reached out to them to let them know that I would be in the community and how I can be involved. So if you ask me if I can have an expungement clinic, and I can do that frequently, I have no problem with that, because not only do I have access to several attorneys, several people that could help me with that. That's not an issue, whatever. Anybody that needs something, any kind of legal advice, I could easily let them know, this is who you find out. If you need real estate information, if you need, again, expungement, if you need whatever the information is, I could give it to you and tell you easily what to do.
So
It's
Anna,
not-
I think, and I'm sorry to interrupt. So we get you are a very well-resourced person and highly, highly intelligent, highly educated, right? Specifically in here, what we're looking for is what are you going to do? And it sounds like you've said you have a group of attorneys and expungement. Maybe that is something that you actually can do, because that's what we're looking for.
That's
is the
absolutely.
exact thing.
Right. Yeah,
Not
the
what if you could do and how you, what are you going
I
to
am
do with your
prepared.
business?
Right,
to-
but so hold on. To echo what Commissioner Sloan is saying, we're looking for specifics. So you keep saying if I can or if someone needs, but every other applicant that has come before us has presented to us their community impact plan. So some people are planning on putting garbage waste stations in neighborhoods, and they're going to be responsible for emptying those. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but part of the reason that you've been tabled is every time you come in front of us, you've never been able to explain to us what you plan to do. There's a lot of hypotheticals, but every applicant that has come in front of this board has had to explain to us what their intentions are and how they're going to give back to the community in which their business is going to be located. I'm not doubting you're resourceful. I believe that you are, but we're not looking for hypotheticals. We're looking for specifics.
Can I maybe examine her?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've also got one additional comment. I know I saw one MOU, which is with the Mohair Foundation.
Right.
I know she wasn't able to come today because, you know, she planned to be here at the last meeting and it was tabled due to a deficiency in the security plan. But do you have any other MOUs that, because I didn't see any here.
So
besides
hold
that
on. I
one.
just want to echo, our board does not require MOUs.
It's not required.
Yeah.
But I know we've had other applicants provide additional MOUs as well as testimony, like physical testimony from whoever they've
With regard
agreed to do that with.
With regard to expungements, you're aware that
Yeah.
He's just
they,
not forward.
I'm sorry, with regard to expungement, you're aware that they recently computerized that system, and you're able to do that on the computer. You would have space, for example, in your facility to maybe on a Sunday or on some time just have people come and participate in that kind of community outreach. I had little experience in Bergen County, but some of the churches have actually had days where people could come,
They're doing
pull their
educational,
criminal
huh?
records, and process their expungements right on the spot. So is that for an example of the kind of service that you could provide?
Absolutely.
And you would do that for free?
Absolutely. And I've been involved in the expungement clinics.
So is that something you're interested in and you think you could create a plan around this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I've been involved in them. And I know recently you can have expungements where people come and you can sit around a forum like this and not have to file
Right.
applications, and it can be done right in a building where you have the prosecutor, you have the person that's on the defense side, and things that are applicable to that particular situation that can be done immediately because they're trying to clear the calendar. So that would be provided without a problem, yes. That I would be able to do.
So I would submit that we have made a concrete statement of what specific community outreach you'd be prepared to do in addition to the other things that were testified to earlier, and the memorandum of understanding that already exists.
Any other questions from board members for Ms. Tolentino? All right, folks in the public, residents, questions only on the testimony that Ms. Tolentino has given thus far? Hearing none, seeing none. Is there another witness, Mr. Neely?
Right.
Yes, we have Ms. What's her?
Oh,
What's her?
I'm Jacqueline Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, who would be the manager.
All right, Ms. Thomas? Yeah. There should be another chair somewhere.
I think, can we use this chair?
Yeah, of course. All right, please make yourself comfortable. Would you kindly raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
You can put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name slowly, and give us your address.
Yes, my name is Jacqueline Thomas. That's Thomas. I live at 41 Bayside Terrace, Jersey City. I'm a lifelong resident from there.
You're a witness, Mr. Neely.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Thomas.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell us your relationship with the applicant, Art 40 Company LLC?
Yes, I've known Anna for 20-plus years. We've had a lot of different business ventures together. We became good friends. When she presented this opportunity to me regarding cannabis, I was already interested in it, and I have been making infused foods, and which is why she thought I was a good candidate for that. I am enrolled in Hudson County Community College for the Cannabis Certification Program, and it's a 4-month program, and I'll be completed by the end of the year. And she wanted to bring me on to the management team, and I thought this was a great opportunity for me to better serve my community in ways where it opens up an avenue to help them manage their pain through this medicinal new cannabis industry.
Now, what prior professional experience have you had? What kinds of work experience?
Well, I'm retired from the Blue Cross Blue Shield healthcare industry. I was a supervisor there in the audit department, and I'm currently now in the airline industry, you know.
So you've had experience managing people
Yes.
and
Yes.
dealing with personnel and that kind of thing?
Yes, for 15
So-
years.
Okay, so you have management experience in terms of managing the staff and customer service and so
Yes,
forth?
yes. I
the
worked in the
business?
audit department at the industry, healthcare industry, and I had about 15 employees, and I supervised them in the audit department.
And it's a highly regulated field, the Blue Cross
Right,
Blue
that's the
Shield.
insurance
Absolutely.
industry, and you also
Absolutely.
worked in the, what did you do in the airline industry?
Operations for British Airways.
So you were involved in managing people and dealing
Yes.
with the requirements of
And the basic operations of the,
the FAA
Yeah.
and everything else for the airlines.
absolutely.
Okay,
That's 2 regulated fields. All right. Any questions from board members?
What is your role going to be?
I'm going to be a general manager
Okay.
there, kind of like facilitating and overseeing some of the operations and liaison with the law enforcement and officials, as well as vendors and customers, and helping to ensure that the employees are trained and that they are certified. That's why I'm going through this program, so I can speak to them better about it. They have online, stuff that we can go through. So,
How large is the store again?
I'm sorry.
How large is your space again? The size?
I think my father would have to answer that question.
you need a
about-
number of square feet?
Yes.
of the-
About, I think, 1,000 or?
Okay, can we ask Dr. Tarantino to?
Just curious.
Well, you can't holler out from the audience, Mr. Neely,
I'm
but
sorry, he'll testify. We'll provide a witness
I
to
think it's about
landlords.
1,000 to 1,200 square feet.
Okay.
any other questions for Ms. Thomas from board members? Hearing none, seeing none. Questions from the audience and questions only for Ms. Thomas on the testimony she's given thus far? All right. Any other witnesses, Mr. Neely?
Yes, Dr. Tarantino, please.
All right, so we'll get the square footage now.
I think it's about 1,012.
Okay, let's let,
Good evening, sir. If you'd be so kind as to raise your right hand, do you swear affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Put your hand down, please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
My first name is Ernesto. My last name is Tolentino, spelled Tolentino.
and
Address 41 Gifford Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey.
Welcome back, Doctor, your witness.
And Doctor, what is your, are you familiar with the premises that is proposed for the location of this cannabis facility?
I'm very familiar with it
And why is that?
because I'm constructing it.
Okay, and
So I'm the owner of the particular property that,
can you address the specific question of the number of square feet involved for this facility?
there are two specific areas that are relative to the commercial area. There's the front door area, and I believe that was handed out, a diagram of that. And that is that area that will be the principal area of dealing with a particular project is 960 square feet. There is a second specific area that will be the vault and will be the Pacific area that will be highly secured. That is another approximately 300 square feet.
Okay. Are there any other questions concerning the building and that the doctor can address?
Hearing none, seeing none.
Thank you, doctor.
Any other witnesses, Mr. Newton? Oh,
have-
sorry. Residents have any questions for Dr. Tolentino on the testimony he's given thus far? Hearing none, seeing none. Next witness?
I have no further witnesses at this time.
All right. At this portion of the meeting, if,
I'll make a motion to go into a work session.
I was going to open it up to the public.
Go ahead.
So this is the public portion where anyone from the public can come up to the microphone. You're limited to 3 minutes, and you can state why you're either against or for this application or anything else you want to say specific about this application. Hearing none, seeing none. The public portion of this meeting is closed, and the chair has made a motion to go into a work session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Back to the dais to discuss the application.
Okay, and just to be clear, this is not a back and forth between us and the applicant or the public. This is for the board, the attorney, if we have any questions for Maynard or his team. So where I struggle with this application is I still feel that she has not been able to provide us with what she intends to do in terms of community impact. And I think it's my microphone. My issue is that I feel that we have to hold everyone here to the same standard, and we have made everyone else present us with their community impact plan. And so while I feel that she is a Jersey City resident and a lifelong Jersey City resident, and that's very important, I still am struggling with the fact that there's no, because in a year from now, you have to come back to this board. And so there's basically no metric for us to measure if you've done what you said you would do for the community or what you, I mean, it's been hypotheticals. You said you will provide expungements, but there's no actual plan to do expungements. So other applicants, for example, and I don't want to discuss any specific application, but they've contracted with a firm or a group and they've already planned to do this. And it just seems that every time you've appeared in front of us, it's the same thing. And it seems that you get defensive when we ask you questions, but it's our job to ask you these questions. And I still don't feel that we've heard a concrete community impact plan. Even when I just reread your amended community impact statement, it really just says that you walked around the neighborhood and you met with these people and they have no issue with your business, which I appreciate immensely because I feel there should be a noticing requirement for these businesses. But I still don't know what you intend to do for your business to directly impact the community. And that's one of the biggest metrics that this board is supposed to consider. And I still don't feel that we have an answer.
Yeah, I
I
agree. But to the other extent, I mean, yeah, she made a lot of effort to go into the community, to do the survey and to talk to people. It seems and feels like there's something about this that she's just not understanding, like what it is, because clearly she could do it because she
I
has
agree.
the whole plan put together. So there's something about the way we're saying it or what this is, what it looks like. I think that's what really is at the heart of it. So somehow, some way, we need to relay this is simply what she has to do, like the creating the business plan, creating this plan, choosing another organization that already exists, or if she is going to do the expungements, a plan as to how that would actually come to fruition and how she would do it and like that.
So being new to the board, I just have a question on what that plan is supposed to look like. Is that plan supposed to be placed in writing of her explaining
Is your mic on?
exactly? Yeah. Can you, I don't know if they can. Is that plan supposed to be placed in writing, explaining exactly what she's going to do with the community and how she's going to execute it moving forward?
This
How
is,
she will
that's
do
what we've
it,
seen from other
how she
applicants.
will activate it, at what stages, what would
So
be
because
the
she's just
impact,
saying it,
why.
it's a hypothetical.
Yeah, it's
I got it.
it's like she's saying all
Right,
the
right.
things, but it's almost like they're ideas that other people could do, and she'll join them, as opposed to this is what I'm doing.
plan
Like,
Right.
this is what I'm going to
Like,
take
this
ownership
is what we're
of.
doing at our
Okay.
LLC.
So
just like
some,
this.
just to give Sonia some examples, some people have said they're going to host classes on how to use cannabis safely. Others have said they're going to host expungement clinics. There are some who said they're going to host weekly neighborhood cleanups.
This is all put together in their plan,
a
in
plan,
writing, in their
typically,
agenda,
yes.
presenting to
There was
us.
one applicant who said that they were going
Okay.
to set up
Because-
trailers for dentists to come in
Yeah.
with folks who could not afford dentistry.
Okay.
So it's run the full gamut. There's been, and I personally feel that each applicant should do whatever they feel best, but it should be clear to us and measurable so that we, in a year from now, we can say they did it or they didn't do it. Because
And it's
this is an advisory
yeah.
board and we only have certain things that we are hearing.
Right.
But one of the most important is the community impact.
Exactly.
That's the
And
I
it's
biggest
think
piece.
she's more
important.
than capable of doing all and executing all these things that she's
Exactly.
saying
Yes.
she's going to do. It's just not placed in black and white where we can hold
Exactly.
you accountable for it a year from
Yeah.
now.
And I personally myself would like to see some of the individuals that you spoke to or some of the businesses that you went to here, present. You know, signatures are great. I saw the revised package. I saw all the signatures you submitted, but I would like to see them here in support of your dispensary. And that's something that we've asked from previous applicants as well. So it's something that we're doing all across, not just you.
Is there any other discussion amongst the board members before we go back into a regular session? Is there, I'm sorry,
So, okay,
is there a motion?
not yet.
Oh, sorry.
So if this is what we're saying, right, it seems that we're saying the same thing, that this is being misunderstood. Okay, so now, what's next?
Well, I suggest we go back into the regular session and
Yep.
the board can decide to either adjourn the matter or vote
Or
this
table
evening.
it again and do it, okay?
So,
So I'll make a motion to close the
Go back
session.
into the
Yep,
regular session.
regular
Is
session.
Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we're back with, still at the dais here, but there can be some give and take if the board so desires. So what is the board's pleasure? Would the board like to vote? Go ahead.
So I'm looking at the amended community impact statement, and I mean, I do see Sandra Lovely's name on here, which she's a big community person, but it's in the capacity as a planning board staff member.
Yeah,
I saw that as well.
yeah.
So I don't know if Sandra Lovely's on. I mean, I'm confused by this because it's she did do the work and go and talk to the neighborhood, which
It's just the context is, when you read it, it's just,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's to me, this isn't a community impact statement. This is kind of what you did, and then you also reference Family Support Organization, the Building Blocks of New Jersey, and the United Way. But there's no supporting documentation stating that you've met with any of these people, and I'm not saying that you're not being truthful, but we have had people come in front of this board and lie to us, and we've learned about it after the fact. So we've also just instituted, and it's not an official policy, but we've decided as a board, if nobody's here from these organizations or there's not a letter, we're not going to consider it as fact, because we have found out, and we've actually had nonprofits come here and say to us, if my name is in there and I'm not here, they didn't talk to me. So that's another concern, because there are three, apparently I'm the new Stacy, so, but there are three nonprofits mentioned and there is no supporting documentation.
And I think that's
But
why I
it-
asked
it-
that I
it
would like to
doesn't
see them
sound like
physically
something
present here.
maybe-
and what I read, they're mentioned, but she doesn't mention herself necessarily, like, oh, okay, this is what I'm taking on.
No, it just
Very
says on
clearly.
a regular basis, the company intends on donating money towards the local non-for-profit agencies as support, and also offering my personal services and input. Neighborhood agencies such as Family Support Organization, the Building Blocks of New Jersey, and the United Way, who are dedicated to addressing the needs. But I guess what we're supposed to look at is what do you specifically, and I don't want to adjourn you. I don't want to make you come back a fourth time.
Can I say one more
Yeah.
thing? I have reached out personally to all those organizations. The reason I found out about them is because I did the research. I also reached out to some of the McGinley Square organizations, and you have to put everything online. The reason it wasn't addressed at the last meeting is because we were tabled. I was not able to say anything. So I would have said this before, but I have reached out. I've done what they've asked you to do. I've gone online. I've submitted the information, and I haven't had any feedback. That does not mean that I don't intend to do what I've submitted in my plan. I understand what you're saying specifically. When I came here the first time, I was told to do the community impact. I am totally prepared to start an expungement clinic right away. I have no issue with that. I can do it immediately when the place is open. It's not open yet. We don't expect to be open until probably the end of the year. So that's nothing that's not within my reach. But a lot of the places, I have everybody that's within that plan I reached out to. I've gone, I talked to. Everybody on that signed, they signed it. And they signed it willingly. So there's nothing about it that I didn't ask for the input. I wanted people to appear. I had Monique Smith-Andrews here to appear. It was tabled. I had the security person to appear twice. It was tabled. So the last time I wasn't able to say one thing, again, because when the security plan was brought to my attention was at the last meeting. So I see that you're saying that, oh, it's not in writing. I've been speaking to these people, and I will do this ongoing. And if you had to ask me within 3 months.
Right. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think it's because of the experiences with other applicants and what's been placed moving forward. I think that you will do what you're saying, but unfortunately, there's really nothing to hold you by if it's not a part of your plan. Yeah. So it does sound like a hypothetical, even though I do believe that you will go forward with it, and we can in a year from now do that. But unless you have that in writing, that you're going to meet with these people, and I'm sure you've walked your community, you've talked to them, and obviously the people who signed are in support of it, but there's no actual plan set in writing and in place that's going to say, this is what Ms. Talentino and I are going to do moving forward.
There's no supporting documentation. That's my take from it. There's no supporting documentation of what you've done. You're telling us what you've done. I've read, what you provided, as I said before, but it seems more like a timeline of what you did, but not an actual plan of what you're going to do.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that's what collectively,
I think simply said, what we're asking you for, it's a requirement, right? And just like you put the plan together, like an executive summary, it's just basically your impact. If you're going to choose an organization, or if you yourself are going to take on doing, we just want to understand and see it in writing so that it's memorialized. And then when you come back again before us, then we go back through and review again. And it's like, well, how's the expungement clinics going and what's happening? So we need a roadmap as to what you're going to do. So many of these different businesses, like going into our communities, and what we're doing is just wanting for them to become a part of the community, not just paying, oh, I'm going to donate $5,000 to this, like doing something and physically being neighbors, being part of the community and the context of the community. And we get from your actions, and obviously you've lived here a very long time, we get all that. That's the part I think that it's not connecting. Something about what we're asking you to do. Is this making any sense, what I'm saying?
No, I understand it completely.
Okay.
This is the issue I have. And you mentioned that I was being defensive. I'm only asking questions because I've looked at the YouTube. I don't recall any other person that I watched having to provide that kind of information. There's no place that's been open yet.
There is no cannabis dispensary open in the city of Jersey City. That is 100% correct. But every single cannabis applicant that has appeared in front of this board has had to tell us how their business is, because they've had to tell us what benefit their business is going to provide to the community and to the city of Jersey City as a whole by opening. So again, those have varied greatly. Some people are planting trees. I'm not going to tell you what you should do, because that should be your passion project. And I believe that any goodwill you're doing should be because you want to do it. So I'm not here to tell you what you should do. There is a disconnect, and Courtney and I agree, Jose and I agree, Sonia, all of us agree that there's a disconnect between what you intend to do and what we have in front of us. So I believe that you intend to do good things, but there's no supporting documents of that. So you're saying you're going to give to Family Support Organization. There's no MOU, and I'm not saying that there has to be an MOU, but there's not even a letter of intent or what you intend to do. Other organizations have given us, I intend to give 1% of my net proceeds per quarter to this organization. Other ones have come in front of us and said they're going to pay their employees for 120 hours of community service per year. So again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but it is not, you're incorrect in saying that every applicant has not had to provide one of these, because it is a requirement. It's a required part of the application. In the ordinance, the first thing it says we're supposed to consider is community impact and outreach input.
No, I didn't say, I said I.
And that's one of the biggest considerations. So simply
I
said, let
didn't say
me
that.
ask,
Okay.
are you willing to take this on? Like, are you willing to take on what we're asking? Just asking.
Absolutely. So no,
right.
I didn't, and she miscommunicated. I didn't say that.
Let's not even go back there.
Absolutely.
We're right here standing, right? We don't need to go backwards. All we're asking now is, are you willing to just create the plan, and in whatever way we can explain it further?
Yes. But I said I've watched every YouTube. I've seen everything almost that you.
So here's what I'd like to.
Understand.
And I completely understand. I completely understand.
Anna, everything.
I completely understand what you're asking me. I understand why it's required.
Ron, can you explain? Because I mean, you've sat through every single one of these meetings.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Neely, what the board typically looks for is there's a community impact statement. In that statement, it sort of spells out exactly what the applicant has in mind. I was blown away when one applicant said that we're going to have trailers and we're going to bring in dentists to take care of poor folks who can't afford dentists. I almost fell off the chair. I'd never heard of anything such it was a wonderful community impact outreach. So, need not be 12 pages, could be 1 or 2, but here are the things that we're signing on to, and we absolutely will do this.
Make commitments that
We're going to do an expungement clinic, and
reach out
Walter's going to do it, or some other attorney.
To the Garden State Bar Association or some county bar association to do it. We'll commit.
So you understand.
I understand.
I understand as well. I mean,
I apologize. I didn't mean to say you didn't.
I am willing to do expungement clinics. I'm willing to do.
We need to say that in writing. So
I thought I put that in writing.
there's no measurable, in this amended community impact statement, there is no measurable metrics for us in 1 year to say, Anna Tolentino said she was going to do 10 expungement clinics, and she did 10 expungement clinics.
So that's what you need those.
Again,
10
I don't think we're
words,
trying to tell you exactly what to do. We're
But
giving
that's
you
what I'm
examples
telling
of what
you
we've seen in
now.
the past.
I am willing to do expungement clinics.
Okay.
I'll do whatever. So you need that paragraph in writing to say I'm willing to do expungement clinics.
So that
No. I think we're still
necessarily.
getting
Yeah, I think there's still a
caught up
disconnect.
in.
Can I summarize?
There's not you have to show community impact.
Anna,
want a
let your
measurable
attorney
metric.
speak for a minute. Mr. Neely, go ahead.
You want a measurable metric. Is that saying we committed to have 3 expungement clinics? We committed to pay 5% of net profits to 3 organizations. Here's our books and records. We paid it.
Yeah, but we paid it.
No, in other words,
I think I
if
wanna,
you
I
get,
wanna
once
make a
we get
I
It's
think
okay. It's all right. I understand what you're saying.
I think I'm sorry to
understand what you're
interrupt you.
saying. Okay.
I just don't think we want to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make a motion
Exactly.
for an adjournment.
yeah. Yeah.
I
just
think
have
I
to
think
say-
that's what's best at the moment. I
That's-
really
yeah.
don't want to go back and
Yeah.
forth.
I think we
it's
should-
best
yeah,
that we make
I
an.
agree.
I want to make a motion for an adjournment, and I don't know if anybody.
Is there a second?
There's a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed to this adjournment? Hearing none, seeing none?
What is the next meeting date?
It's
in
the
August or
second to, it's in August, yeah. We don't take a break, we keep going. It's August 14th.
14th.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nice
Thank
to see you,
you.
Mr. Neely.
Thank you.
And if you have questions, you can always contact the Division of Commerce or our attorney, Ron Mondello.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay.
You. I seem to have misplaced my agenda. If somebody could help me out here. The next matter is CCB 23-63, The Number Spot, Inc. Thank you.
Do you have another agenda that Ron could have? Thank
I
you.
have an electronic one, so.
I just found it.
There you go.
Just a lot of paper.
Sorry,
up here.
Markia.
Sorry. I made you walk, so. Nice to see you again, Counselor. When you do get situated, please enter your appearance into the record.
Yes, sir.
And tell us where we are at.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name's Nick Lewis from Lewis Law Group. My office is in West New York, New Jersey. And it's my great honor to present the Number Spot and my client, Naima Terry, to you. I can start whenever you're ready.
Where'd we leave off?
We didn't get to present.
yeah.
We
I
didn't
don't-
hear
yeah.
anything,
Right.
so
Fantastic.
Sonia will
That-
be able to vote on this
That makes
one.
it easy.
Yes.
So why don't you briefly tell us what this application is about and who's going to be testifying this evening?
Okay, perfect. So we were here in June, and we were one of the lucky souls that the collective, everyone in this vicinity found out that we needed to update our security plan, which we've done. I spoke with Lieutenant David Carlton this week. Our head of security spoke with him. He was both a gentleman and effusive in his praise of our security plan and support. We had a well over 50-page security plan, and I think it was just a matter of getting lost in the shuffle last time. I also would like to note, and this is without any shade to anyone or any offense, but we did have upwards of 40 people here in support last time, if you recall. And we had a large chunk of those people couldn't get off work, and we had less people. But I would just like to note that we did have that level of support. It is really just an honor to present Ms. Terry to you. Naima is the sole owner of both the business and the property for the Number Spot. She is everything that is great and beautiful about this city. She's her reasons for wanting to do this business, where we've applied for a Class 5 recreational dispensary. And Ms. Terry's reasons are mainly to give back to this community, which she got so much from. Naima will, of course, tell you about her education and work experience, but you will, I'm sure, see that she's from the Jersey City education system. She's gone to great heights. She's an international model, and her dedication to this city is what I think makes her such an amazing candidate for you. In my opinion, she's exactly the type of candidate the CREAM Act was created for. We are a MBE diversely owned business. Again, Naima owns 100%. We don't have outside investors from out of state. We have, we're a social equity business. And as far as community impact, which you'll hear shortly, I think that it's really where the paradigm of what community impact will be. I mentioned Ms. Terry owns the building at 539 MLK. We are going to be dedicating our entire second floor to community impact activities. I am, at first I was a prosecutor and then criminal defense attorney. I'm now criminal defense and civil rights attorney. So you're looking at the expungement clinic. I'll be having no less than 5 per year, but as needed, we're going to be having, frankly, just the expungement clinic will simply be notifying and educating whoever wants to come to our community meetings, which we intend to do at least monthly, and educate the public on the expungement program in general. I was actually at East Jersey State before I came here. I think it's for all of the great that the cannabis law and the word that's been getting out, I think the expungement portion of it is probably the part that needs to be advertised most. So it's simple enough to do online. We'll both educate the public on how to do it, and if they need help further, I'll be the one who's actually processing the expungements for people. We have a number of programs and MOUs that have been entered into as that will demonstrate the community impact and our dedication to the community. We have a workforce development plan where we intend to hire only Jersey City residents, and and we also intend to have a large portion of our workforce be individuals who do have felony records, who have recently come out of prison, and that was another thing I was speaking with a couple of individuals at East Jersey State earlier, that we want to get the word out that it's having a felony record, especially for someone who's been done time for nonviolent drug crimes. We want to give them opportunities to assimilate back into society.
I'm sorry. I have to do the quarterly report, which is a lot of fun.
Yes.
So I just want to confirm this is minority-owned, women-owned, social equity, and Jersey City resident.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. And born and raised in Jersey City. Actually, currently at Newark, but will be a return to Jersey City shortly. And we do own the property. It is
Yeah.
a family, and Ms. Terry will tell you, it's a family-owned property that's been passed down to her. It's also been a hub of the community, which we intend to sort of bring, modernize even more. We have multiple programs, including, aside from the workforce development and expungement program, we have Angela Cares, which Ms. Terry will tell you about.
Yeah, actually, that was the next thing I wanted to do because I do see Angela McKnight. And so as a courtesy,
Yes, of course.
if she's here to speak on this application, we do let elected officials speak because sometimes it gets long. So Angela, are you here to speak on this application? Would you like to just speak now? You'll wait? Okay. Okay, continue.
Sure. And just in general, I think when you'll hear from Ms. Terry, Naeem is just extremely impressive. What I think is one of the more impressive points for all of her education experience and everything that she excels at, Ms. Terry is willing to know what she does not know. So we have a number of relationships we've started from the operation standpoint of people who have been in this business, and I think this is probably a good time to turn it over because I'm sick of hearing me, so you guys must...
Well, I was going to cut you off. 'cause
Yeah, well, we have to ask.
Starting to testify.
I could bring my wife
Yeah.
next time, she'll cut me off. But Ms.
We
Terry-
also have to ask some questions that we're required to ask. So we just need you. I assume you provided a copy of your ID, and you're a resident of Newark. We have to ask your race.
African American.
We have to ask your nationality,
United States of America.
and then we have to ask your ethnic group.
Black.
And I just tried to ask Ron to do this because and number of employees you plan to hire.
As a micro business, I can only have 10.
10.
So
Okay.
right at the
Oh,
mark.
because it says class 5. It says class 5. So you are a micro.
Yes, I'm sorry, I should have noted that as well.
Okay. So you're only allowed to have 10 employees. So that makes it easy. Okay. Please proceed.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Naima Terry, Terry, 111 Mulberry Street, Newark, New Jersey, 07102.
Your witness, Counselor.
All right. Ms. Terry, please introduce yourself and tell the board why you're so great.
So this is my second time here, but my first time speaking. So I just wanted to read a statement so you know a little bit about me and why community development and real estate development is so important to me. The Number Spot Inc. is a new cannabis business retailer that will provide an unparalleled historical and cultural Jersey City shopping experience. Our cannabis store will be centrally located in Ward F section of the city on Martin Luther King Drive between Bramhall Avenue and Communipal Avenue, one of the busiest streets in Jersey City. Our facility is located in an impact zone and has obtained zoning approval. The Number Spot Inc. is a cannabis business tailored at acquiring distressed commercial properties in inner cities, redeveloping with the culture of that community in mind, and committing to hiring locally and being a hub for Black and brown entrepreneurs. One of my first jobs I applied for out of Rutgers was a job with the Hudson County Division of Planning. It's probably less than 1% of the population that graduates college looking for a city planning job, maybe even less than 1% that knows that that job even is a possibility. Well, let me reintroduce myself. I'm Naima Terry, a local girl from a global city. I attribute my success in life from being from this great city, where I experienced the greatest diversity and adversity, being born and raised in this city and in Hudson County. I grew up learning from the best and learning from everyone else's mistakes around me. God gave me a unique perspective in life. He gave me beautiful and deeply flawed parents that struggled with drug addictions and incarceration most of my childhood. He also gave me beautiful, resilient grandparents who were educated in Jersey City. And my grandma's in the back. He also gave me beautiful and resilient grandparents who were educated in Jersey City, and great-grandparents who were entrepreneurs in Jersey City. There is a great disconnect in inner cities like mine up on the hill where grandparents had to take on too much and our parents were too busy fighting systematic injustices in a new way that the generation before them never experienced. They had drugs and mass incarceration for their drug use. I saw as a little girl these injustices firsthand. I saw an older generation trying to remedy it by running for political offices in Jersey City. I saw an active NAACP. I saw the Urban League being built. I saw Black businesses on the Ave because most of them were my family. I saw all of our great-grandparents and grandparents' hard work buying homes disappear in one generation with almost every family on the block, not just mine. We lost a generation to drugs, and it is my mission through the Number Spot Inc. to help this new generation produce leaders, activists, and entrepreneurs, to influence them as a Black woman entrepreneur on the Ave, doing great business and reinvesting it back in the community to help them turn their dreams into tangible businesses. I'm not done.
I'm not saying anything.
I only applied to 2 schools when I graduated from High Tech High School, which is a part of Hudson County Schools of Technology, in which I watched my grandmother found Career Academy, which was in County Prep. And to mention, I mention my grandmother a lot because she raised me, but I saw her treat the janitors the same way she would treat Superintendent Gargiulo, and that's how I plan to treat my staff. So I applied to 2 schools. I only applied to St. Peter's right here in Jersey City and Rutgers University in New Brunswick. I did early decision with Rutgers, so by October of my senior year, I was admitted already, and I probably spent the rest of senior year skipping class and smoking weed. I'm sorry, Grandma, the cat is out the bag, I smoke weed. After doing
She does too, probably.
No. No. Okay.
You said we were a T-shirt store, so. No.
After doing research on majors, planning and public policy was the only major that made sense for my life. The life where I firsthand experienced the consequences of failed policy and poor planning in my neighborhood. I learned from the best professors that range from former New Jersey governors and New Jersey mayors to current city planners and real estate developers. I focused on real estate development, community development, and Africana studies. My vision is to be a Black-owned, multi-state operated MSU in inner cities throughout the nation, bringing cannabis and local culture together to further economic and real estate development in our community. My mission is to acquire and redevelop distressed inner city commercial properties like my own and turn them into cannabis businesses or co-working spaces for other cannabis businesses. I'm not going to finish this long speech here, but I will say I'll jump into our community development plan, and my first MOU and the one that I'm most proud of is my MOU with Veronica Sutton. Veronica Sutton she's born and raised in Jersey City, has over 25 years experience in this city and throughout the state as a real estate developer, affordable action. She's actually one of the people responsible for the hub actually being here. We would not even be in this this building right now if she wasn't on the plan to bring Extra Supermarket here back in the day, and also one of the founding people to help bring the Urban League to the Ave. So this is my biggest MOU who is here, and she's our managing community development partner. And I will be donating a percentage of my proceeds, of my sales, to community development initiatives that we will be the spearheading, but we also have many community partners that we will partner with. And as Nick mentioned, my entire second floor will be dedicated to community development initiatives that we will run, also serve as an annex location for our community partners, and be a co-working space for other cannabis businesses and entrepreneurs in Jersey City. With that said, I will turn it over to Veronica so she could talk a little bit more about the MOUs we have and things that we're working on. I don't know if we got to give you their MOUs ahead of time, but we do have 2 signed MOUs, one in the works with the SID board, but we do have Brenda Pettiford here who works for the SID. As you mentioned, we have Angela McKnight here as well, but I'll let Veronica take it over.
Yeah, before we do that, any of the board members have any questions for Ms. Terry?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Thank you for choosing Ward F.
Born and raised.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
The only question that I had is on your application, it says consumption area sought, NA not at this time. So is that something you're considering down the line?
It is something I will be considering down the line.
Okay.
By one license at a time. Please just only consider me for this license right now.
We don't even hear consumption lounges yet. We bifurcated all of them and then they're going to come back, Maynard, and we get to sit here every Monday night for all of eternity.
Any other questions for this witness? No. Hearing none, seeing none. Members of the public, questions and questions only on Ms. Terry's testimony thus far. Hearing none, seeing none. Next witness, please. Raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
And put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
My name is Veronica Sutton, Sutton. My address is 21 Shelley Drive, Somerset, New Jersey. And I was born and raised in Jersey City.
Your witness, counselor.
Thank you. And Ms. Sutton, can you please tell the esteemed board members about our community plans?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm so very proud of my intern at the Urban League, Naima Terry. She has definitely carried the mantle and has really...
Can we just have you pull the microphone up?
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
We can, and people apparently watch the YouTube.
So I will repeat again, I'm so very proud of Naima Terry, who is my intern at the Urban League Affordable Housing Community Development Corporation when she was on her way to law school, and then got discovered and has become an international model. However, that passion for community development and revitalization has not left her, and it is permeated throughout this entire plan. And the reason why she decided to take the helm and shepherd this the number spot herself. Initially, it was being sought after by other potential cannabis businesses, and it was through her research and deliberation and really her wanting to make a difference in the community that made her say, you know what, I'm going to do this myself. Yeah, that's the only way I'm going to be assured that it's going to get done right. And so I'm here to assist and provide the technical know-how that I've garnered over 25 plus years. I am a student of government and economics. And for me, whenever there's a new public policy, I examine what the impact is going to be, the social impact and the economic impact. And this is a challenging one, right? You know, nobody could foresee 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that we'd be here with legalized cannabis. But as such, we need to make it work. for our communities. And we need to make sure that there is a chain of custody in a product that assures that what is bought and purchased is actually what is received. And we need to take advantage of the cyclical economic impact generated by the profit of this type of business, and making sure that it recycles in the community at least 7 times so that it can make a sustainable difference. And so that is why I am so committed to the success of the number spot, to ensure that 4 years, 5 years down the road, we see a noticeable difference. And we have been able to come here tonight with 2 executed MOUs from organizations that have been long-standing in the community and have done excellent work. And we're here only to enhance that. The first organization is the Angela Cares. And, you know, when these new policies come into play, we often forget about the seniors and the impact that it's going to have on the seniors. And we want to make sure that there is a conduit of information that is solid, that is true and reliable, so that seniors understand what their alternatives or options may be in personal care and in health care.
And how are you going to do that?
Just giving them the information, deciphering for them what this is, that cannabis is legal, but there are boundaries that have to be put in place. They need to consult with their doctors, but they also need to be able to manage it in their own households. A lot of seniors or grandparents, they are taking care of grandchildren, and they need to be aware this is, you know, a situation where, you know, freedom comes at a cost, and it could come at a hefty price if it's not managed properly. And so teaching about the individual responsibility around cannabis, teaching seniors what their options are for managing that responsibility in their homes, and to look at, you know, perhaps, you know, options for managed care, and being comfortable to talk to their physicians about it because they are already equipped with solid information.
And I saw that on your application, the workshops that you proposed for the seniors. So I did see that in there. Thank you.
Yeah. And so the other thing that is really germane and we're really passionate about as it pertains to seniors is a program we've entitled Don't Sell Grandma's House. And the premise behind that is to look at the assets we have in our hand and to value them and to teach our future generation to value them, so that, you know, when grandma gets older and is no longer able to care for the house or maybe pay the taxes totally, you know, there is a legacy plan that allows that property to generate income for future generations. And so that is part and parcel to our program. The rate of real estate assets in that MLK corridor has decreased drastically. You know, home ownership by residents is in jeopardy. And so there is a intent here to create a plan that, one, teaches people the value of what they have. It doesn't matter that the steps are broken, that the banister is rocky. You know, in Jersey City, you have an asset, and you have an asset that future generations can stand on. So that will be part and parcel. We'll work with Angela's Cares and the staff there to look at how we can help those seniors who have assets with legacy planning. The other organization, which we have an executed MOU with, is the Coalition for Anti-Violence of Hudson County. And that is a partnership which we hope will also assist with the drastic reduction in crime and violence by being able to present options for workforce elevation. A lot of the work skills in cannabis are transferable skills. iOS systems, customer service, management, all of those skills can be transferred into other industries. And sometimes it's just letting people know what their options are. And so we will work with, that other end of the spectrum. A large part of the coalition group are younger people. So here we deal with Angela Cares with the older people, and at the same time, we're dealing with the younger people to bring about a common understanding.
Thank you. Any questions from board members?
I don't have a question. I want to say, this is what we're looking for when we're talking about, leave Jersey City a little better than you found it, right? And and there's a million different ways you could help Jersey City, but I do applaud you for, Angela is a tremendous asset to Jersey City, and the work that she does with seniors is incredibly valuable to the city. So I applaud you for working to educate seniors, because I do think, especially the unknowns of cannabis, right? It's still a new industry, which I can't believe I'm saying a year later, but there are none open in Jersey City. So a lot of people still don't understand what it means. So I applaud you guys for trying to educate people. And I love Don't Sell Grandma's House, because that's, again, not related to cannabis, but it is a great thing to teach the community about, and it's creative. So I applaud you for doing something different and not coming in front of us and mentioning the same organizations we always hear.
I have a comment I want to make to Ms. Terry. I'm very proud to see you standing there, such a young woman, bringing it back home to Jersey City, a woman of color, because we know as cannabis, marijuana has incarcerated a lot of our people in the Black and brown community. So I'm very proud to see that you're doing something, especially in Ward F, and that you're a young African-American woman moving it forward. So I just want to applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as our chair said, I really did like the Don't Sell Your Grandma's House program that you've put in your application. I also really like the community advisory board that you propose in your application. And I would like, if you can, just so it's on the record, I know I've read it, but if you can elaborate a little bit on it so that other applicants, when they look at this YouTube video, can see what we're looking for.
So I'm from the community. I know a lot of people. I grew up calling. Well, first of all, there's been so many good inspirations in my life just because I was with my grandmother. My grandmother was a single grandmother raising me, so she was very active in the community. So all of her after work activities she would do, whether it was serving on the juvenile committee with Judge Talentino. I looked up to Judge Talentino. Kabili Tahari, former mayors, the Cunninghams. These people I would call my uncle and aunts, So I grew up with these people, so I have a connection to the community. And the advisory board, now that I've been getting into cannabis, I've come back to Jersey City and I've been attending a lot of city council meetings. I also was an aide for Councilwoman Kalima Ahmad, former Councilwoman Kalima Ahmad, the Honorable Kalima Ahmad. So I had my time at city council then, but now I've been back and I see people like Laverne Webb, who's at every meeting. Did Laverne walk in yet? Not yet. But Laverne Webb, I would love someone like her to be on my advisory board. I'm having a conversation. She might still get here. She has a camp that she's running right now. But people who are here and know what needs to happen in the community. So just from sitting at city council meetings, I heard Laverne Webb come almost every meeting and say she's tired of these smoke shops. The smoke shops are selling to underage kids, and we don't even know what they're selling them. So target is to change people from the legacy market to the legal market, and also to serve people with quality product that has been tested and homegrown New Jersey cultivators and manufacturers. But yes, the advisory board is to get people that can work with myself and Nick and Veronica, because Veronica's going to be our community developer managing partner, but to have an advisory board that's actually out here and know what we need to get done. So like you said, I didn't just go to Scores and want to donate to the same people, because obviously there's 60 people approved in Jersey City. They're all donating to them. So I wanted to think outside the box, and I didn't want to just go get the same MOUs. I said, let me get the right team. So once we actually start making money, we can build the right relationships.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm just glad we didn't hear another expungement claim. We don't have enough criminals.
We're actually going to do one, though.
Any other questions for Ms. Sutton from the board members?
I don't have a question for Ms. Sutton. I have a question about the application, though, just because we do have to ask. You can only have 10 employees, but what do you intend to pay them?
So I have actually over, I think 40,000 would be the lowest salary that we intend to have, but I have over, hold on, I have the numbers here.
It's on page 8 of our business plan for you.
860,000 allocated in my budget for salaries, benefits, taxes and insurance. There's almost $1 million allocated to salaries.
Okay.
Between our 10 employees and contractors.
And you will be providing them with benefits?
Correct.
And ma'am, we have on page 8, I noticed in the previous presentation, we have our projected numbers, and including what we intend to, including salary, also give to community programs, federal, state tax on page 8 of our business plan. And we plan to come back and get grilled in a year on our projections.
It essentially says that the number spot will create 10 new jobs in the city with over 700,000 in salaries and benefits.
Right.
Yes.
And then underneath the table has what we intend to give to the community programs and tax. It's there in black and white ink.
Yeah, no, I see it. I saw it, and I see Ron is holding it in front of him, so.
All right, residents have any questions on the testimony that Ms. Sutton has provided thus far? Hearing none, seeing none. Next witness, Mr. Lewis.
We'd like to call our architect, Antonio, who just has our floor plan. And any questions?
I don't.
If it's not needed,
It's not necessary. We don't have to see it. You sent a copy.
Sure.
We have from Dave Carlton in writing, so we now know that it's signed.
So we don't need to, if as far as, so the board knows, we have our head of security, who's a former esteemed retired lieutenant from the Newark Police Department here. We have several community members that we could speak with, but we respect the board's time, so we can leave up to the board who you'd like to speak with, and we could present whoever, or if we're ready to vote.
So I think in terms of security, if Dave Carlton signed this, that's more than enough for us. We only want basic info anyway.
Right.
I think we all saw the floor plan.
Yep.
So
I think it's an excellent application.
Yeah, so with that, I would make a motion.
Let me open it up to the public. I'm the bad guy all the time, right? Sorry.
But hold on. Also, there's a lot of people with number spot shirts. So I would just make a suggestion that if we're ready to vote, maybe let's not all line up at the podium.
Yeah.
But if you,
Don't let us hold you up.
Yeah. So any member of the public that wishes to speak for or against the application, you're limited to 3 minutes.
Angela, we have our assemblywoman here. So out of respect, she sat there very patiently. So we will have Angela speak.
It's our honor to present Ms. Angela McKnight for.
Right. Would you kindly raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address just for the record.
Okay. Angela V. McKnight. I've used this.
Yep.
Angela V. McKnight, Angela, V as in Victoria. McKnight, MCKNIGHT, and I reside 91 Arlington Avenue in Jersey City.
Welcome. What would you like to tell the board?
Well, first, I just want to say I am here in the capacity of the founder and CEO of Angela Cares. Okay, so you can call me Angela for today. So I am here in support of the spot. I just want to say it's a great application, but I want to talk a little bit about Don't Sell Grandma's House. We work with, my team and I, we work with seniors who reside in housing, public housing, and seniors who are homeowners. And one of the biggest issues that we face with the seniors is losing their home and also not being able to upkeep their home. And I work with many of their family members, and they have no idea what to do. Their mom, their grandparent need a roof. They need stairs done, and they don't know what to do. And you have some seniors who live alone, and you have people who they used to come to their homes, and they're getting all these calls to sell their home. So this particular program will be able to educate our seniors to stay in their home, and also educate the family members to say this is an asset. And we can find programs throughout the state of New Jersey to help fix up their homes or pull equity out of their homes. Many of the seniors don't know that. So I am proud to partner with the Spot for this main program right here so that we can keep generational wealth here in Jersey City so the houses can get passed down and down and down. My dad, who passed away almost 2 years ago, he owned a home down in North Carolina. And my sister and I, we now own that home because we refuse to sell that home because that is generational wealth. And I want my children, my grandson, my nieces and nephew to be able to go down to the South to have a home. And I want family members here in Jersey City of our seniors to be able to go to that home and have those Christmas dinners and have those Thanksgiving dinners and just have some place where they know that my mom and my dad or my grandmother or my grandfather, they built this home and we can now go here and continue to live in this home. So I am here in support of the Spot, especially with Don't Sell Grandma's Home, so that we can make sure that we are educating not only the seniors, but the community and their family caregivers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. So our vice chair made a good point. If all of you are here in support of the Spot, want to come up and make one collective statement, why don't you guys do that? So designate your speaker, and you can all stand up here together so that when these people watch these YouTube videos that I still can't imagine anyone watches, they can see that there was community support.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to say,
We gave away 40 shirts last time, but they couldn't make it.
So,
Come back.
It's okay. Your grandma, you get a pass.
who's going to be the designated speaker? Oh, there you go. All right. If you'd be so kind as to raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So help you God. Okay, put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
My name is Jennifer Martin, Martin, and I live at 7 Hemlock Street, Jersey City, New Jersey, 07305.
Welcome, Ms. Martin. What would you like to tell the board on behalf of all the folks behind you there?
We just want to express that we are very, 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 very proud of our friend, our cousin, our granddaughter, our daughter, cousin, sister, niece, whatever you see her as, that's exactly what she is. She has an open heart. Her mind is open and it follows through. She wants to help all of those that need the help. If she can't do it, she will find. We all here have a connection with each other. We have met through her. We have kept connection, and we keep it rolling. The 40 people that were here the last meeting, it's way more of us. Way more of us.
I'm glad we're voting this evening.
But they're here in spirit.
Yes, thank
and
you.
it's just an example of the type of vibration that she sets when she sets her feet on the pavement and who follows her. So we just want to say that we love you. We appreciate you. We are here to support you every step of the way. And we are here at your every beck and call because you have been there for us.
Fine job, Ms.
Great.
Martin.
All right. So with that, I will make my motion. But hold on. I also want to tell Dan I just took a really good picture that's not the back of our heads for you to use. I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I second.
Second.
Let's
Sonia
give that
gets
to
a
Sonia.
second,
Is that
yeah.
all right? Yeah. Okay, all right.
Congratulate. Oh, wait.
We still got to vote on it. We still got to vote on it. So give us like 3 more minutes.
Roll call.
Chairperson Bunny,
Aye.
Vice Chair Cantorero,
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan,
Aye.
Commissioner Marte Dublin.
Motion carries.
Very
Congratulations.
honored.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I have.
Yeah, why don't you sign that one?
Best
real
of
quick.
luck, Miss Terry.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Wants to talk.
7.
Real quick.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to take 5 minutes.
We're going to take 5 minutes before we hear the next one. Given Maynard a notice, and so I apologize, Maynard. Let me know when we're ready, and I'll say it again.
Good.
We are going to now hear CCB 23-65 Capital Virtues LLC, which will be located at 154 Martin Luther King Drive. If this is correct, which I have no reason to believe it is not, it is, you guys are applying for a Class 5 retail license?
That's correct.
All right, go ahead.
Counselor, would you please enter your appearance into the record, briefly tell us what the application is about and who's going to be testifying?
Yes. Thank you, members of the board. That's a tough act to follow, but we'll do our best.
Hey, we're good.
My name is Esperanza Segarra of Vasquez and Segarra with our office in Newark, New Jersey. I'm filling in for Jorge Vasquez, which was here before, my partner in the firm. Also with me is my colleague, Stacy Mungo. We're here on behalf of the application CCB2365, Capital Virtues LLC. As you stated, they have a conditional approval for a Class 5 cannabis retail business, and they're located at 152 MLK Drive in Jersey City. With me is the founder and CEO, Delilah Scott, Delilah Rose Scott, and also co-owner Regina Lackner is in the audience. We were last here in June 12th, and if you recall,
There were security issues?
There were some issues with the, you've allowed a little bit more time to adjourn to allow us on the community plan to be able to provide more detail on the efforts and.
So there was testimony on the 12th, right?
Okay, so wait, I think I remember now. Was this the one that was, your community impact was your own nonprofit?
I wanted to create almost like a funding and be able to donate the funding at the end of the year to an organization or family or whatever trials or tribulations come up in Jersey City, be able to take those monies and say, can the community vote of where that money can be given to? However, I was directed by you and a challenging
I believe that
experience.
was Stacy, but
Yeah,
yes.
Stacy.
State your name and you remain sworn from the June 12th meeting.
Delilah Rose Scott.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Okay. And so I
remember
took the initiative.
Yeah, I think then we were talking about cannabis products, right? And then Ron was very intrigued
thing and the
wanted to have an
thing and
offline
then-
conversation. Is this the right one?
I think
Yeah, this
Okay.
is her. But you
we
look
had a lot of
different, though.
flair.
Yeah,
Well, I'd like to let you know a little bit of what she's done since that hearing.
Yeah.
Kind
And
of
just
diverted back to.
for the record, what I have on my notes was
Yeah.
we adjourned to obtain more community input in person.
Yes.
Yes.
We wanted some individuals to come speak on her behalf, testify to what she's discussed with them, the plans that she has when she opens the dispensary to,
Right.
for community impact. So
Right.
those are
That's
my
correct.
notes.
Yes.
Right on point.
And since then, she's entered into an MOU. We've submitted it in July 6th with Angela Cares. Miss McKnight is here in support as well for this application.
So hold on. Angela, would you like to just come up and speak? Okay, we'll let her speak now so that
she's
she
been here a
can.
while.
Yes. She is by far one of the most patient elected officials I have ever met in my life.
You remain sworn.
I agree.
What would you like to tell the board about this applicant?
Okay, Dee, that's her name. That's what I call her, Dee. So one of the impressive things that
Is that
I'm
mic
so
on?
happy that Angela Kears.
I don't
There
think
you
the
go.
mic is on.
There you go.
There you
There we
go.
go. Okay.
There you go.
So one of the impressive things why I entered into a MOU with Dee is because for about 7 or 8 years, Angela Kears has been giving diapers out to the community. We give children diapers as well as adult diapers. We have a partnership with Moms Helping Moms where we get our children diapers from, but we don't have any type of partnership for our adult diapers. And we have a plethora of seniors who come on a monthly basis and they get the pens from us. And the partnership that Angela Kears is going to have with Dee and her team we will be able to have and open up an adult diaper bank. And they're going to provide storage where we will store the diapers. Angela Cares already have secured one grant to begin to get diapers, but Dee and her team, they're going to be able to help us purchase the diapers and as well as store the diapers. So I am elated to be here with for my team so that we can show and just tell you how proud we are to be here in the community and with Dee and her team so that we can be able to fulfill our mission, to continue to fulfill our mission. Yes, I know I was up here prior, and I know Angela Cares' name has ring in other applications, but let me just tell you, we have been in the community since 2011, and we have grown. And I told Dee today, I said, don't worry that I was called for someone else. Angela Cares has more than 10 projects that we work on, and we need to have funding. We need to have partners. We need to have collaboration so that the mission can continue. And we don't have a storage space, but now we will be able to have a storage space to house our adult diapers. And also her team will be able to help with education, especially with incontinence. Seniors deal with incontinence. And she comes from the pharmaceutical world, and she will be able to educate our seniors and their family members on this particular topic. So I am in full support of Dee and her team, and I look forward to hearing everyone vote on this application tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Angela.
I'd like to add, in addition to Ms. McKnight, that Delilah has also worked with Levi Johnson of SCORES, and he's also here to support the application. And she's also worked, or she's met.
I would like to say that I've actually worked with him. So I know that you've heard his name a lot. You've heard the organization's name a lot, but we have actually put in work. You guys gave me a challenge, and I put in the work.
Yeah, I actually think he's the one who came from SCORES to say if SCORES is mentioned and he's not here, not to hear the name SCORES. So
yes.
And she's also met with Juan Cartagena. Juan Cartagena and his wife are Nanette, which are, their nonprofit is Segunda Quimbamba Folkloric Center. Juan Cartagena is a lifelong resident of Jersey City. He's also an advocate of the marijuana legalization. But his nonprofit organization, they work.
So, Councilor, I mean, this is interesting, but you're testifying. Perhaps
Oh,
Ms. Scott
yes,
can-
I apologize. That was supposed to be a summary. I'll go ahead and pass it to Ms. Scott so that she can give you a lot more detail of her efforts with the Community Impact Plan.
Thank you. Thank you, Esperanza. So I guess following up what she just mentioned about Juan Cartagena and myself and his wife, Nanette, have
had conversations offering some of the space that I have, which we mentioned earlier, to teach the culture of the Caribbean, where it came from, what the healing methods are in the Caribbean, which I'm very fond of, how it helps us heal as people, Black and brown people, because that's who's in the Caribbean. With Juan Cartagena, he's the president and founder of Latino Justice, and that's exactly what I love to support. That I love to support the Black and brown community. Juan and myself, we're still exploring ways of how to work with each other. He did follow up today and said, give me a little bit more time, and I'm going to leave it there just because of his name, and I respect and honor him and honor his work that he has done in the state of New Jersey, also including other states, and I leave it in his hands, but I trust it. My other organization that I have been working with is SCORES. One of the things that spoke to me about SCORES since I began this project in October 2022, my first thing is I wanted to work with inmates that wanted rehabilitation. I have had experience doing that for friends and family, writing letters to federal judges, telling them why they should be released early, how they're going to impact community, how they're going to help themselves heal. I support that. So one of the things that attracted me to SCORES was the fact that they rehabilitate inmates, specifically female inmates. So part of my plan is those inmates that are eligible to work in the cannabis industry, not only begin the process of interviewing them, registering them with the CRC, but also paying some of their fees when it comes to the DMV, when it comes to their licenses being, with tickets and just not being able to drive or not being able to have a license. You need that in order. So that was part of my proposal to SCORES. And I recently donated products, feminine hygiene products that they deliver on a weekly basis. I did it myself. I told Levi, if you ever need someone to drive around, I'm that person. I have no problem working or walking through anywhere in Jersey City. And I really love connecting with people. I would like to mention, I was at the shop, just kind of just being there. Like, I like that. I like being with my people. And an older lady walked by and she knew very little English. And her issue was trying to find a doctor's office. Based on her issue that she expressed, her health issue, based on also some grievances at home. And I was like, Angela, that's who's going to help her, Angela. And so I gave her Angela's information, but I felt it was, for me, I'm sure you read my business plan. Everything to me is energy. Everything that's happening today has already happened. I really believe in that. I believe in the art of manifestation, universal law. What you give out will come back to you. So being aligned with this elderly lady who was trying to walk to her doctor's office in 90-degree weather that day, would not take a ride from me. She said she would have to get to know me better, was just a sign that I am on the right path of how I'm choosing to give back to the Jersey City community. One of the biggest aspects of working with Angela is we mentioned the elderly community not being able to understand documents, legal documents, not being able to fill out documents for Medicaid, Medicare. This is all stuff that I am highly experienced, 15, 16 years doing, working with these organizations, working with the government, working with boards. So I told Angela, I want to be hands-on. Whatever you need from me, I want to be there. I want to give out meals. I want to be that person that is also active, not where she's just, she drops off, sees her, goodbye. I really want to be that community person. And I have lots of ideas, but I'm going to tone it down now and I'm done.
So, unless I'm wrong, because it has been a month, but we went through every other part of the application and we went through everything pretty extensively, right?
This is what there was, because you're at Miss Rose's, is that right?
And she passed away.
Oh, dear.
That's, I'm sorry if she did, but yeah, I just heard that she passed away.
Oh, very sorry to hear that.
So I can't recall if I asked you this question, but It appears that the lease was signed in Illinois.
Right.
Oh, right, we had a
Yeah.
notary issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in Illinois at the time she signed
My
it.
travel actually just came back from Ohio too, so I travel a lot, and this business would keep me grounded in here.
Yeah, I do remember us discussing
Yes.
we went into
that as well.
But I feel like all in all, from where
Yeah.
we left things and where things were before, just a little confusing. And I think you clarified a lot of it.
Yeah,
today.
Ron just has to ask you the required
Forgive me,
questions.
the number of employees you intend to hire?
10 as a micro business.
Micro, okay.
Okay. We got proof and your race.
I am from the Caribbean. I consider myself black, but I am from the Caribbean.
So the nationality would be Caribbean.
Well, that would be a new nationality. We can go with Puerto Rican.
Geography.
We can go with Puerto Rican.
Okay. And so you're a micro business, you're a woman-owned business. We didn't have you say your address again. Are you a Jersey City
That's
resident?
236 Cater, Jersey City, New Jersey 07305.
City resident,
I'm a few
and-
minutes from the store, and it might even move in there. I don't know yet.
All right.
You'll see how they treat me.
Go ahead, Ron.
I think that's it. The other
Well,
one
we
is
got to open it
ethnic.
to the public, right?
Any other questions for Scott from the board? No, hearing none, seeing. Members of the public, questions and questions only on the testimony we've heard thus far.
I see Hugh walking in this
he's
direction
slowly-
now.
He's my guy.
All right, hearing none, seeing none. Next witness, that's it?
We do have Mr. Johnson's here as well.
Oh, from Scores, yeah.
Yeah, do you?
Oh, okay.
All right, good evening, sir. Nice to see you again. If you'd be so kind as to raise your right hand, do you swear affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please, you can put your hand down. Microphone, state your name, spell your last name, give us your address.
How's everyone doing? Levi Johnson, L-E-V-I.
Is that microphone?
I don't think it's on.
Hello?
Now it's on.
Levi Johnson, L-E-V-I, Johnsson, CEO, COO of Scores Reentry. I came here tonight because initially we had discussed not working with any potential cannabis partners, just because for some reason when you Google reentry services in Jersey City, we're the first one to pop up. And unfortunately, been a lot of candidates who came here and used our name but had no intentions of working with us. So initially when I spoke with the attorney, I told him we're not interested at present. So after speaking with him and him giving us some background of information on her, we took an additional phone call. And at the additional phone call, we I reiterated, I don't think we'll be doing any business with any cannabis partners. And she said, I don't want to do business with you. I just really want to help this population. And then that turned into an additional conversation where it led to her dropping off like 40 hygiene projects for women recently released from incarceration. And that sparked us to take interest in working with her because we didn't have a signed MOU. We hadn't even discussed having a signed MOU, but her passion to work with that population is what got our interest. And then from further conversation with her, I seen how serious she was taking this process about giving back to that particular population where we really struggle with just giving them products like that monthly. Unfortunately, social services don't provide them with a large enough stipend to take notice of that. They have hygiene needs. And when she talked about all the plans she had with working with that population and in partnership with us, that's when we decided to kind of like partnership with us. And that's why I'm here today in full support of her.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Any other witnesses?
There was a community member that was here, but I am not sure if he's still here.
He said he was on his
Is there
way.
a
I mean,
community member here?
a lot of things been happening on the block, so I don't know.
Right around. So I'll take that as
I
no
believe that's
additional,
the last witness,
witnesses.
yes.
All right, so we'll open the public portion. All right, guys, step up to the podium here.
I thought I called you out, and then you were just moving to a chair.
You remain perpetually sworn for the next 10 years. So,
Thank you.
Also, we're glad to see you again. We thought you were done with us.
No,
no.
I
We
love
had the
this.
Cannabis Cowboy
I
the
love,
past.
I love being here. This is one of my favorite places to be.
Just state your name for the record, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Hugh Giordano, 57 Argyle, Blackwood, New Jersey.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you very much. I'm here as representative of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. As everybody knows, the UFCW is the official cannabis labor union under the guise of the AFL-CIO. I am proud to say that we support this applicant. They're a micro license. Under the state law, they do not have to sign an LPA. and they willingly contacted us, reached out to us, and said, we want to do the right thing. This is exactly what social equity should look like. A woman-owned, minority-owned, locally owned, working-class businesswoman opening a shop up in Jersey City. This is what the union and labor thinks is equity, justice, and the fact that Ms. Scott has taken the time to sign an LPA when she's still a micro. That means she cares about the citizens of Jersey City, that they get a fair wage, health care, vision, dental, retirement, sick time, vacation time. These things matter. Economic justice leads to a better life. And I think that anybody that takes the time to put workers first when they don't have to stands out amongst the most. So I am proud to say that the UFCW supports this applicant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll close that public portion of the meeting and bring it back to the dais.
So I mean, I think she satisfied what we asked for, which was the confusion around the community impact. So I don't want to go into a working session, but if someone else wants to entertain a motion, we certainly, I think.
You don't have to, but Sonia, you can't vote on this one, but you certainly can participate very actively.
So I'd like to make the motion that we vote on the application.
To approve?
Is that
To approve
for-
the
okay.
application, sorry.
Great, I'll second that motion.
There's a second. Thank you. Roll call.
Chairperson Boney,
Yeah, aye.
Vice Chair Cantorero,
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan.
Aye.
All right.
Thank
motion
you.
Carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Best of
And I
luck.
love your head.
Congratulations.
Okay, so I believe that Sonia and I are both recusing
Okay.
on the next one. So I just want
Thank
to
you.
do things a little backwards if we can for a second. If there's any, can we approve these?
Thank you. Yeah.
And then if there's any board business, otherwise I am going to go. And if Sonia would like to go, just so we don't. So we're going to just pause for a second and approve, memorialize these resolutions. So Ron, if you could do that.
Yeah, all right, we might as well do this one that we just finished up here. This is in the matter of Capital Ventures. I need not add anything. I did circulate the typical resolution. You may notice that Maynard had mentioned that we want to make it crystal clear that they still have to go to the council for a resolution, even though this is a resolution. So I did add that. That is the third paragraph. This is not the municipal council's proof of local support, blah, blah, blah. So with that, I'd ask for a motion followed by a second to memorialize.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
I make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
All right, I'll call those members eligible to vote. Chairperson Bunny?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cantorero?
Aye.
And Commissioner Sloan?
Aye.
Motion carries to memorialize this resolution.
But they still have to go to the council.
Exactly. In the matter of the number spot, which you just heard, I'll entertain a motion followed by a second.
Motion.
Second.
All right, Chairperson Bunny.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Cantorero.
Aye.
Commissioner Dublin
Aye.
and Commissioner Sloan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Ron, we're good to, you still have quorum, right? Because we're all here. If,
Oh, yeah, yeah, there is a quorum. There's only two members that are eligible to vote. That's okay.
Okay.
As long as there's a majority of the two, they're good to go.
all right. So is there any board business that we need to discuss?
Anything that the board members are going to be discussing this evening? Hearing none, seeing none. We
All
are
right.
going to start the next application. Let the record reflect that both the chairperson and Commissioner
move
Dublin
over,
are
'cause I'm
recusing
leaving.
themselves. Let's call CCB 23-66 Top of the Pot Dispensary. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Courtney.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Tom, good to see you again. When you get settled, please enter your appearance into the record.
You could have stayed, you not even vote. Good evening, Commissioners. For the record, Tom Lean of Connell Foley.
Welcome, Mr. Lean. Nice to see you again. Why don't you tell us what this application is about and who's going to be testifying?
Absolutely. Quickly to my right, I have the Vice President of the Top of the Pot Dispensary LLC, Mr. Jerry Walker. And then I also have the President of the entity to my right, Tuesday Cardwell. The application before you tonight is essentially an amendment to an entity here that was approved by this board previously. This applicant appeared before this board. It did receive an approval for a different location.
Same name?
Same name, correct. Yes, same documentation, same individuals. The only thing that has really changed this evening is the location, as they were unable to procure the original site that was originally contemplated and presented to this board. It is a Class 5 retailer. It is a micro business and a social equity and diversity owned business. Given that this board has actually already heard.
Right. Do you have the resolution in front of you? Or do you know who voted, how they voted?
You know what? I don't, and I apologize. Yes.
Just for the record,
Yeah.
I wasn't present for that.
you weren't?
I think he wasn't.
I wasn't appointed yet to the board, so.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you for that.
Just for the record,
You
yeah.
have to
I
start
wasn't
all
here.
over.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
No, I understand, and,
Yeah.
and counsel, I apologize. I jumped into this at the very last second to replace someone. I didn't know of that history until this evening, actually. So given that, and given that we have a commissioner who did not hear the previous testimony, I think we do need to run through the parameters here and go through our application and make a full presentation of our client's credentials.
Unfortunately.
Please and thank you.
Otherwise, we'd be down to one person.
Correct.
I'm not so sure you want to do that.
No, I don't. I was even hesitant with two, but you know, had they not been before this board previously and already been approved, even if it was just by one sitting member here, I still feel confident going forward.
Yeah.
So, with that said, I am going to ask that my clients briefly introduce themselves, give some of their background, especially their background as it relates to the community, and then, yep.
I swear from the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Please state your name, spell your last
Jerry
name.
Walker, Walker.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, your witness counsel.
Sure. Mr. Walker, there are many of us in the community who are very familiar with your credentials as far as the head of Team Walker here in Jersey City. However, I'm going to ask you to put on the record, give me your background, your work you've done with the community, and the involvement you're going to have with this site and this proposal.
Yep. Thank you, Counsel. Just a little bit of background about me. Obviously, I've been doing Team Walk for the last 27 years. Is a nonprofit that deals with challenged youth as well as senior population. We do all sorts of things, from healthcare to education to just everything. We is a long-standing, like my family, just to give you a little bit of background about my family, been doing social service work in this community over 75 years. My grandfather's name was James Bob Curry. He got a block named after one of the original blocks. It was a new block. Original blocks always stay the same, the name, just to let you guys know that. But I like to think he was a little bit better than me. He managed to do all this sort of work, having 16 kids of his own. My mom is one of 16. And if I had to bring I could have really brought a lot of people here tonight. But I didn't realize, I thought it was just a change of address application. So one of the things we wanted to do with this also, with this new adventure is obviously, educate the people about it and the benefits as well as the senior population. But not only that, but just to try to figure out how to do some sort of endowment at Team Walker. We don't have no endowment in place, and that's one of the missions that, God forbid, if anything ever happened to me, my life work, I would want to go on. I feel like I'm doing God's work. A lot of my colleagues right now is making a whole lot of money. I'm just reading in the paper, the reason why it's on my mind, Danny Hurley, he just signed a contract for $36 million, and I'm sitting here trying to save the world. So this is going to be something that hopefully could be lucrative as well as support my efforts within the community. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to do so.
Okay. Any of the board members have any questions for Mr. Walker?
So far, with the testimony you shared, no.
Okay, thank you.
Members of the public have any questions on Mr. Walker's testimony thus far? Hearing none, seeing none. Next witness.
Okay, next up is Ms. Cardwell.
All right. You swear or affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
You put your hand down. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Yes, my name is Tuesday L. Cardwell, Cardwell, and I reside at 3 Madison Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey.
Thank you, Ms. Caldwell. Your witness, counselor.
Yes, Ms. Cardwell, again, since you've been in front of the board, I'm sure you're aware of what you need to say. So if you wouldn't mind, just most importantly, I think, as you are the president of this entity, give us your background, but I think it's going to be incumbent upon you to explain to the board what your daily process is with the company, what you're going to be doing there, how you're going to be managing the business, and how the business is going to be giving back to the community.
Okay. I am presently employed at the City of Jersey City Law Department. I have worked for the Sandra and Glenn Cunningham Foundation, giving scholarships out to high school, the students in high schools that can afford college tuition. I have been on the the Jersey City Medical Center board, and I've also been on the zoning board. My passion, I've been married to Joseph Cardwell. He has daycare centers here in Jersey City, and he's a pillar of the community. And the reason why I'm getting into the business is because I want to educate the younger children about the dangers of marijuana. I want them, the dealers, to get the marijuana that's harmful to the community off the streets. And so I want them to have, marijuana that's going to be safe and not dangerous to the community.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
All right. Any questions from Ms. Caldwell?
Yes. Can you elaborate on which community members you'll be working with? Any block associations you would work with? Again, I'm sorry I wasn't here. So
No, that's it.
Excuse the detailed questions, but I wasn't here for your previous testimony.
And we did submit a full, a plan regarding community involvement. And I
saw that. I just want you to elaborate.
Yeah,
on it
absolutely. And I would ask that
you can discuss
Yeah,
it
so
further.
as I mentioned earlier in my statement, part of the proceeds that from our revenue streams is going to go back to Team Walker to offset some of the operational costs. Team Walker is a free program. We have certified teachers that we have to pay union wages to. So we just, when the pandemic hit, it was a real eye opener for us to try to figure out how to bring about more revenue, because we couldn't do our normal banquets, et cetera, where we was lacking like $150,000. So we're trying to figure out ways where to offset the operational costs and don't just rely on a grant opportunity. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing it. So we're going to be giving the proceeds back to what we're doing. We're also doing our newer venture. We just spent over $600,000 on Pacific Avenue. We're doing a vocational training school right on Pacific Avenue, and that should be open in September.
Nice.
So that's the sort of stuff that we're trying to continue with some of the revenue streams that we're going to be making with this new business venture. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Mr. Lean, you had indicated that you said that the address was wrong on the agenda?
So that was my mistake. I was handed the wrong information by the previous attorney.
Right.
The what is on the agenda is absolutely correct.
I see
Yeah.
it matches up. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
And Mr. Walker, I know it is an absolute passion of yours here, the Team Walker program. Can you just run through 4 or 5 different programs that you provide to the community, just so everybody's aware of how beneficial your school is?
Yes. We do a lot in conjunction with the Liberty Science Center. We do STEM, which is science, technology, and mathematics. In conjunction with the Liberty Science Center. We also do food insecurity programs, such as Angela Cares giving out different foods, but we also do education. We partner with this foundation out of Huntington County called Grow to Row, and we do a free farmers market starting the end of this month. So if y'all ain't doing nothing on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock, you come down to Lena Edwards so you can get some fresh produce, organic, And we do that. We also do, which is a cool thing, we do senior bingo night, which is very, very important. The seniors love it. We have a good time. So that's on every first Friday of the month. We also do SAT prep classes. We do summer camps. We do basketball tournaments. Just a host of things that try to keep the kids occupied and going in the right direction.
So, Mr. Walker, are there other not-for-profits that you work with? And here's why I raised the issue. One of the previous applicants, the board was somewhat concerned that her cannabis business was basically going to be giving money to her not-for-profit. And we just wanted a little more clarity as to, well, if, you've got the keys here, what's going to happen with, this type of thing. So, and they actually were able to elaborate that there were other not-for-profits that they're working with. And it sounds like you do that as well. I just heard two of them. So
100%.
Yeah.
Angela, she left, but
she had enough.
So we in collaboration with a couple of different nonprofits, Bless being one of them, as well as Angela Cares. We do turkey drives and different things. We do toy drives in terms of Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So we pretty supportive with different nonprofits throughout the community.
So it's not as if your cannabis business is just simply giving to Team Walker.
Yeah, no.
They'll give to Team Walker, but then Team Walker spreads this
100%.
around.
Well, a lot of these, for example, the Dolphins is a football team that was birthed out of Team Walker. One of my colleagues, Ike Williams, he run a football program. We support of his efforts, as well as Louis Spears. They was all birthed out of my program. They all worked for me, and he has a Kingsman where he deal with and mentor young men that's in the housing and different things like that, pointing them in the right direction. So we do support other nonprofits, even without this revenue stream here. So we'll be able to do more with this revenue stream and hopefully we could be one of the top sellers around. So
thank you for that. Okay.
I just wanted to clarify. Thank you. I know we had that issue with one of the previous.
Yeah.
Actually, the previous applicant that was just here in front of us. So I asked Ron to just clarify.
And not that there would be anything improper with that, but it was just curious that, the cannabis business would simply be feeding the one not-for-profit. But then it turned out it was much more than that, as is the case here.
Correct.
So.
Well, the last time, what was funny, the last time we was in front of you guys, it was a gentleman here saying that he was going to hook up with Team Walker. I never met him, talked to him, or anything. So that is, that's y'all doing y'all due diligence, so I appreciate that.
Why we're asking all the questions.
100%. 100%.
Again,
I was sitting in the audience.
Time,
he was talking about Team. He didn't even know me.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know.
It's happened to us a couple of times
unfortunate,
since I've been here. So
we're not cut from that cloth. We actually doing what we saying we doing. So
They are who they are.
Anything else from the board members? Questions for either Mr. Walker or Ms. Caldwell?
No.
Members of the public, questions? Go ahead, Mr. Lynn.
Okay, I just wanted to, before we close out here, just put a couple things on the record.
Go ahead.
I know that you called me this morning and we discussed the fact that there had been an issue previously with meeting with the police to make sure that they had reviewed the security plan. I called Mr. Walker right after our conversation. He went right down to the West District and he had a conversation with Captain Joseph Olszewski. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Olszewski, yes.
Okay, who issued a letter to him basically saying that he has reviewed it and they had an extensive conversation about the security procedures that are going to be in place. I know that's not the full report and the official report from the police, but I just want the board to know that Mr. Walker had the presence of mind and the dedication to go down there right after I called him to get on top of that.
That's right.
Yeah, and the second thing I wanted to put on the record is I know it's only a requirement that you request the 200-foot list before we get in front of the board from who
Health Department.
Yes, the health department. Excuse me. We did actually receive
saw
the
that
letter
as well.
indicating that there was none within 200.
Saw that. Thank you very much.
Yep.
thank you.
I did see that somebody had a question only on the testimony of Mr. Walker or. No, you have to wait for that. Okay. Any other witnesses, Mr. Lean?
I have no other witnesses unless you're going to tell me that there's someone else here to speak on your behalf.
Nah, we good.
All right. Well, then we will open it up to the public portion. Residents, anybody in attendance that wish to comment either for or against the application, welcome. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Yes. All right, turn the mic on. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Bashim Spahi, 17 Concord Street, Jersey City, New Jersey.
You may have to spell that.
Which one? You guys
Both.
know me. Come on.
Both. It's for the
All right.
transcriber.
Bashkim, last name Spahi.
All right. What would you like to tell the board, sir?
I just want to say Jerry has been someone in the community. His application, what he's done it speaks for itself. And I come here for all the meetings, but I just want to let you know that this is one candidate that I believe in, and I think this is the person that should get approved.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. And those are some pretty weighty comments because that's a competitor.
all the
business. It's like Sears and Macy's. They're sending each other. Oh, go here. Don't worry. Yeah. Miracle on 34th Street. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I never talk, but now I talk.
Come on up. Yep. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. You can put your hand down, use the microphone, state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Talonda Ross, Ross. I didn't come here for this hearing. I actually came for someone else. But when I walked in, I knew everyone on the list, and I know everyone on the board. So I just wanted to say that I've known Jerry maybe close to 20 years, and he's done I was going to say a curse word, a whole lot for my child.
First Amendment protection.
in his program, he started, I think he's done basketball, tutoring, fencing, away camp, anything and everything you can think of that has to do with the helping children. This young old man has his foot into it. Also, I've actually gone to his senior bingo nights. So I've seen everything that he's doing in the community. And when my son he started when he was 4. He's now 23. He gave my son his first job.
Nice.
I've also known Tuesday for a very long time. Oh, I forgot I did work for him in maybe a few years ago. But I've known Tuesday for a very long time, her and her husband, and they're both pillars of the community. I cannot say anything that would be negative about either one of them. I love them both.
Thank you.
As humans.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Closing that. Come on up. Welcome, sir. Please, do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can put your hand down, pick up the microphone. Please state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
My first name is Stephen. Last name is John Lewis. I reside at 113A Orient Avenue in Jersey City.
And that's Lewis?
Yes, Lewis.
What would you like to tell the board, Mr. Lewis?
I just happen to be sitting here, but I am a product of Jerry Walker. I graduated from high school in about 2000, and just spontaneously, he literally created a track club just for the Jersey City track team members at the time.
Oh, yeah.
He had no experience in the track area, but he just wanted to do something great for the community. And literally, it was maybe last week we were all getting together and actually talking about that one summer event that he did for us. So I just happen to be sitting here, but I can definitely vouch for the greatness of this man.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Anyone else? Hearing none, seeing none. Back to the dais for a discussion.
I just want to say thank you. I wasn't here before, and I wanted to make sure that whoever sees this on YouTube gets a chance to see that you did speak to us here and you did share what you do in the community. When I was reviewing your application, I did go to your website. Clearly, I'm from Jersey City. I've been here my whole entire life, so I have heard of the work that you do here in Jersey City, but I do appreciate the time that you took to explain and just elaborate a little further for us. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to meet you, sir. Today, most people want to stay in their bedroom. You're doing the opposite.
Yeah, I like I said, man, I'm trying to make it to heaven, and I appreciate gentleman here saying that you touched my heart with that this thing, but I'm getting a little bit old now. But it's
He actually looks older
Listen,
than you.
yeah.
I'm kidding.
and I remember that track program, and I didn't know anything about it. And I went and got one of my friends, Chucky Mays. His father ran in Olympics. Yeah. Charlie Mays. He was somebody that was part of my grandfather's association, the Lafayette Neighborhood Association back in the day. So this is something that I it's in my blood basically to do this. So there's no smoke and mirrors. You could drop in anytime if you want to drop in with our programs. We work extremely hard to try to make it a class act for the kids in our program. So
thank you for that.
Absolutely. All right, what is the board's pleasure?
With that being said, I want to make a motion to approve this application.
And I would second.
Roll call.
Motion.
Vice Chair Cantorero?
Aye.
Commissioner Sloan?
And
Aye.
let the record reflect that the chairperson abstained, and so did
Commissioner Dublin.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Commissioner Dublin. Motion carries. Congratulations. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
thank you.
So why don't we just memorialize this resolution? So this is in the matter of the top of the pot dispensary. You've just heard the application. I'd ask for a motion, followed by a second to memorialize this.
Motion.
And Courtney, can you second this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries. All right. Very good.
Thank you, Ross.
There being no other business, motion to adjourn? All right. I'll make that motion.
Second. Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right.
Aye.
We're done. Thank you.